Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper, and it's Tell a Story Thursday, and that's when I read from some of my earlier books. I'm still in The Journey of a Gentle Southern Man. I'm going to read another story from that today and remind you that my book, The Wisdom of Winter, is still out there in bookstores, Amazon, whatever, and you can get a copy and hear stories like this. But this story is called Humor Can Help Ease Tense Situations. So let's jump right into it. For the past few months, I've read nothing but bad things about the Highway Patrol. You would think that each and every one of these guys in the cars with the revolving lights on top are for sale to the highest bidder. Well, I know that isn't so, and deep down you do too. So it is time to get our perspective back about the lone highway patrolmen who are out there keeping our highways safe. And it's also time to get back our sense of humor about them too. The funniest highway patrol story I know is a true one. And at the time it happened, it wasn't funny at all. It happened to me and my family a few years ago. Right around Halloween, my wife and my two sons were involved in a car wreck. That definitely isn't funny, but it does play a part in the story. As a result of this wreck, we were given a rental car to drive by the insurance company of the person who had plowed into my wife's car. It was a big car, heavy and bulky, not like the smaller economy cars I was used to driving. So when it came time to pay a visit to my folks in South Carolina, I opted to drive our remaining intact small car. No way, said my wife. We have every right to drive the big car, and we're going to drive it to South Carolina. Never underestimate the determination of a woman who has had her car smashed and her children jeopardized. Driving that big car to South Carolina was only a small price the insurance and crasher would pay. So off to South Carolina we went in this tank, me at the wheel, my wife at my side, and the boys in the back. This side of Milledgeville, Georgia, as we went down a hill, I noticed those wonderful blue lights shining in my rearview mirror. I knew this was not the Kmart blue light special, and I was right. It was Mr. Highway Patrol, a strapping young man of 22 or 23 who immediately became Sir to me. Highway patrolmen are always Sir to me. I have never been one to believe in the positive method. I choose the humble method instead. Humble and contrite. That's my motto. This gentleman was most pleasant as he took my driver's license and checked it out. He then stepped into his car to call in the make and tag number of the car. When he got out, I noticed he had taken the strap off the top of his gun holster so he could get to it quicker. A few minutes later, I went up to where my wife and boys were in the tank car. I have some good news and some bad news, I said to them. The good news is that I only got a warning for speeding. The bad news at this car is stolen. You could have heard my children wailing in Canada. Daddy's going to jail, they screamed. I almost joined in with them because the patrolman had told me to follow him to the patrol office in Milledgeville, where I would have to stay until this matter was cleared up. It took hours, or at least it seemed like hours. I showed them my credit cards, my AAA card, my press card, a picture of my cat, anything to prove I was not the car thief type. I think they believed me, but what good did that do? I was still the driver of a hot car. Finally, the truth came out. I was an innocent victim of the system. The car had been reported stolen. That much was true. It was reported stolen because whoever had rented it before I got it had not returned it on time. When the car wasn't back on the appointed date, as stated by the contract, the owner of the car rental place reported it stolen. A few days later, the renter brought the car back, but nobody remembered to cancel the complaint to the police. So when the insurance company got the car for me, it was still stolen according to the police records. When it was all over, we all laughed about it. I did, my wife did, the Highway Patrol did. My boys didn't. They were not yet at the age where they could accept the humor in this type of situation. Now when I tell them about it, they laugh, but not then. The point is, no one was hurt. I guess I could have got huffed and puffed at my false arrest, but what would that have proved? And I guess the Highway Patrol could really strong-arm me when they found out that I was driving in a stolen car. But they gave me the benefit of the doubt and acted like they believed my story. I wasn't locked up, just kept available until the matter could be cleared up. They acted like nice, concerned people who really didn't believe I was a car thief. They treated me with caution, but with care too. And when it was over, I think they were glad I laughed. I've been stopped since then, and believe me, I haven't always laughed. Sometimes I felt like crying. That is when the politeness and the sirs haven't worked. But I've always been treated fairly by the Highway Patrol, and I respect them sincerely for that. That's my story for Thursday. This is Jackie K. Cooper sending love and hope.